بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تبارك وتعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، كل بدعة ضلالة، كل ضلالة في النار. نسأل الله العزيز الغفار أن يجيرنا وإياكم من عذاب النار. أما بعد، ما زلنا في كلامنا عن ذلك الحديث العظيم، أول حديث في باب إخلاص النية في رياض الصالحين للإمام النووي رحمه الله تعالى. وما زلنا نعالج أمر النية وعظمها. فالحديث كما تعلمون حديث عمر، the hadith of Umar رضي الله عنه. He said, I heard the Prophet ﷺ, سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى، فمن كانت هجرته إلى الله ورسوله فهجرته إلى الله ورسوله، ومن كانت هجرته لدنيا يصيبها وامرأة ينكحها فهجرته إلى ما هاجر إليه. Umar radiallahu anhu said, I heard the Prophet say, verily the deeds are according to the intention and to each what he intended. Whoever has his migration be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then his migration is for the sake of Allah and His Messenger. And whoever has his migration be for part of the dunya, something of the life of this world that he will attain, or a woman that he will wed, then his migration is for that which he migrated for. And if you remember, within the explanation of Shaykh Al-Allam ibn Uthaymin ta'ala, he also mentioned the hadith of Aisha, the one that pertains to al-mutaba'a, or doing things according to the way of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man amila amalan laysa alayhi amruna fahuwa radd. If he does a deed that is not in accordance to our way, then it will be rejected. So subhanAllah, the ulama will tell you that these two ahadith are the whole deen. All of Islam is, subhanAllah, based on those two ahadith. In order for your deeds to be accepted, they have to have two major conditions. Condition number one is that the intention has to be sincere for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for the sake of anything else or anybody else besides Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And your deed has to be in accordance to the way of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And of course, as I told you before, the ulama, the scholars tell you that the first hadith, the one that pertains to the intention, is the one of the deeds of the heart, and the deeds of the limbs are subhanAllah based on this second hadith, meaning that this is the balance that a person have to strike in order for his deeds to be correct. Well, we mentioned to you that subhanAllah, the hadith of al-niyya, innama al-a'malu bin-niyyat. The ulama tell you that there's a occasion for the hadith, if you remember. That's a story that Al-Hafiz ibn Hajar rahimahullah ta'ala, on the authority of Sa'id ibn Mansur, and this story that was related by Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, that a person wanted to marry a woman that she had migrated with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And her condition for marrying him is that he should migrate to Al-Madinah as well. she would not marry him unless he comes to Al-Medina. So he made his migration from Mecca to Al-Medina in order to marry that woman, and he became to be known as the migrant of Qais. That woman, her name is Qais. وقيل أنها اسمها قيلة. This woman, her real name is Qayla, but like I told you before, the man's name was not mentioned to subhanAllah, because whoever narrated the hadith didn't want to expose this person. They didn't want them to be known as the person that, instead of migrating with the Prophet ﷺ for the sake of Allah, he migrated for a woman. SubhanAllah. And if you remember, I mentioned to you that, subhanAllah, the saying of, or the verse of poetry that was said after this, based on this, وَذُمَّ طَالِبُ الدُّنَى بِالْقَيْسِ عَلَى مُهَاجِرٍ لِأُمِّ قَيْسِ. The one of the seeker of dunya is disdained based or measuring on the situation of this migrant of Qais, subhanAllah. Then the Prophet, Ibn Uthaymin, rahimahullah ta'ala, goes on to talk about al-hijrah, migration, giving us some details, some explanations. That a person should move from the real migration that the hadith is talking about, is for a person to move from Dar al-Kufr ila Dar al-Islam, from a place of Kufr to a place of Islam. And the example of that, subhanAllah, incidentally, Shaykh Ibn Uthaymin gave this example. He said, for example, someone that lives in America, and it is a place of Kufr, it's not a place of Islam, and he becomes a Muslim. And then he's not able to show his Islam, he's not able to practice his Islam properly, so he moves to a place that subhanAllah, where he can practice his Islam. SubhanAllah, it's the ironic thing nowadays is that it's the opposite actually. Because right now, here, we're able to practice our deen a lot more freely than the majority of people that live in Muslim countries. It's becoming very increasingly difficult for them to practice the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, but he's saying that this is the typical model, that you are in a place that is not predominantly Muslim, and you become a Muslim, and people are making it difficult for you to practice your Islam, then subhanAllah, it is your duty to migrate to a place where you can practice your Islam. ثم قال وإذا هاجر الناس فهم يختلفون في الهجرة. When people migrate, subhanAllah, they are different. There are differences between them for their reasons and their reasoning. قال الأول منهم من يهاجر ويدع بلده إلى الله ورسوله. From them, the ones that migrate and they leave their land and their home for Allah and His Messenger. And the question that poses itself, can we still say that now, that there are people that could migrate for Allah and His Messenger? What do you guys think? Alright? Why? In what way? Can you elaborate? Huh? Well, yeah, you're right. Because some scholars will tell you that subhanAllah, the migration for Allah and His Messenger is over the minute that the Prophet ﷺ conquered Mecca. With Mecca, where it was conquered, and there was no more of that. But some other scholars tell you, yes, that subhanAllah, you can migrate still for Allah and His Messenger, meaning that تهاجر إلى شريعة الله عز وجل التي هي على لسان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. That you migrate to the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that who represents it It's the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. ثم قال وهذا هو الذي ينال الخير. The one that gets rewarded is the one that does this. SubhanAllah, the one that moves from his former life of transgression, of problems of creed, and so on and so forth, into following the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will get that which he intended. لذلك أخرج البخاري عن عبد الله بن عمرو بن العاص قال صلى الله عليه وسلم المسلم من سلم المسلمون من لسانه ويده والمهاجر من هجر ما نهى الله عنه. The true Muslim, the true believer, is the one that who's subhanallah, or from whom the other Muslims are safe from his tongue and his hand, meaning that he does not harm people with his tongue and his hand. And the muhajir, the true migrant, is the one that migrates away from that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made forbidden. وفي رواية من سلم الناس من لسانه ويده. Another narration, the true Muslim is the one, a person who's from whose hand, from whose tongue and hand, the people in general are safe. And this, subhanAllah, this riwayah is so important because some people tell you, well, this is actually exclusive to the Muslims, that a Muslim is only the Muslims should be safe from his hands and his tongue. But the other narration said that, subhanAllah, that if you are a true Muslim, then all of the people should be safe from your tongue, from your hands, meaning that you are not supposed to harm anyone, period, with your tongue. And subhanAllah, harming people with our tongue is a big list: backbiting and slandering, bad mouthing, and so on and so forth. The tongue can do some serious damage. يقول بعضهم احذر سيفا بين فكيك. Be careful of a sword that you have between your jaws. وقال بعضهم أن اللسان صغير جرمه عظيم جرمه. That's the beauty of the Arabic language, is always have this word play. صغير جرمه عظيم جرمه. صغير means it's small. عظيم is tremendous. صغير جرمه means as a limb, as an organ, as part of the body, is very small. Jim, but subhanAllah, his jurm, his crime, could be tremendous. So as a part of the body, it's pretty small, but the crime of it can be tremendous. ثم قال العلامة ابن عثيمين رحمه الله تعالى الثاني من المهاجرين هاجر إلى دنيا يصيبها. يعني رجل يحب جمع المال. He said the second person, second type of person is someone that migrated to something of the life of this world. He said, for example, someone who likes to, a collector, someone who likes to amass wealth. فسمع أن في بلاد الإسلام أن بلاد الإسلام مرتعا خصبا لاكتساب الأموال. Then he heard, mashallah, in a Muslim country, there's a opportunity to make a lot of money. So he rushes there. فهاجر من بلد الكفر إلى بلد الإسلام. He migrates from the land of kufr into the land of Islam, but not for the sake of Allah and His Messenger, to establish His deen and so on and so forth, but he does so in order to seize that opportunity because he wants to amass wealth. Subhanallah. And his main reasoning, قال لا يقصد أن يستقيم دينه. His main reason is not for his deen to become better and stronger, but subhanallah, his main concern is the money and the wealth. This is the second category. The third category, he said, رجل هاجر من بلد الكفر إلى بلد الإسلام يريد امرأة تزوجها. This is the third one, someone that migrates from non-Muslim land into Muslim land, and his main reason is, subhanallah, that he wants to marry a woman. So similarly, this is have reasons, subhanAllah, not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger. This reminds me, but this is a situation that we see quite often. And actually, especially in Muslim countries, you find someone, you are in a masjid, and all of a sudden, there's a person that is about to accept Islam, and when the Imam or the Sheikh asks him, what is the reason for what you're accepting Islam? And sometimes you just wish you didn't ask him the question. Well, I met a woman from here, and I want to marry her, and that's their condition, so that's why I'm accepting Islam, subhanAllah. So it's kind of similar to that situation. He's migrated from kufr into Islam, not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or His Messenger, but it is for the sake of a woman that he wants to marry. But subhanAllah, قال فمريد الدنيا ومريد المرأة لم يهاجر إلى الله ورسوله. The one who is looking for the dunya and looking for this woman that he wants to marry, it's not for the sake of Allah and His Messenger. And he said, you'll find that in the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, فَهِجْرَتُهُ إِلَى مَا هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِ. And that his migration is for that which he migrated for. And قِيلَ هُنَا حَالَتَيْنِ. And these are two possibilities. Why? The Prophet ﷺ did not say, and whoever has his migration for life of this world to attain and a woman to marry, and his migration is for something of the life. He did not repeat it like he repeated the first one. Halatayn, two possibilities. First one, and this group of this opinion, they're being nice. They're saying that because it's too long, if the Prophet ﷺ repeats it, like he repeated the first one, it's too many words, it's too long. But subhanAllah, the second group, and this is the most accurate in my opinion, they said the Prophet ﷺ did not repeat it because it's not worth repeating. سبحان لم ينص عليها صلى الله عليه وسلم لاحتقارا لهما، احتقارا يعني هاتين يعني لاحتقارا هذين السببين، سبب هجرة هذا الرجل أو إعراضا عن ذكرهما. He didn't even want to mention them again because they're not worth mentioning, because the reason is so mundane. It's of the life of this world. It's not lofty like the first reason. And inshallah ta'ala, tomorrow we will continue bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from the ones that always migrate from this disobedience to the obedience of Allah, to migrate from the bid'ah to the sunnah, to migrate away from ashirk into the tawheed. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. الحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا.